How's it going, everybody?
What's up? Welcome back.
We are on another episode of the most fun show to listen to.
Goddamn right.
Motherfucking Pizza Bagels.
Pizza and the bagel. Hell yeah.
Bagel.
Missed that song.
I know, me too. It's been a minute, for sure.
For us, this is a long time to go not recording, like 2 weeks.
It's been about, actually, it might be 2 weeks to the day.
Yeah.
Because we did hit that
That's
Thursday
right.
before I left with Alex.
That's right.
So that's episode 16. That
This
was our...
the 17th episode. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was our Urban Dictionary episode.
That's right. Good for us. Cheers.
Oh, cheers to you, buddy.
First off, welcome home.
Thank you, thank you.
And to our 17th fucking episode.
Yeah, it's definitely been quite some time.
It sure has. So where are we, for those that don't know, where are we welcoming you home from?
I was in Ireland for about 10 days.
Awesome.
A lot of fun. Pretty incredible, actually.
I believe it.
There's a lot of sweet things that I saw, and the pictures and videos just don't do it justice.
Really? Mm-hmm. Because the pictures are pretty incredible.
Okay, well, hopefully people do see them in that. But like when I look back at them, I'm like, fuck, it just doesn't do it.
That's amazing.
Justice.
It's a trip I'd love to take, and I'm definitely going to at some point. I'm very jealous, so I'm super excited to hear about it.
Yeah, man, we've been planning this since like the beginning of the year because Aer Lingus has that direct flight.
Right, Cleveland to Dublin.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Also, what a silly name.
Yeah,
Aer Lingus.
Aer Lingus.
Get some of that
So-
lingus in the air.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Put your cheeks up, girl.
Yeah.
You want some of this air link? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's gross.
So, yeah, I mean, if you don't mind, I was going to chirp a little bit about
Do
it.
it. Oh, hell yeah. I
Okay.
want to hear all about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, where do I start? Man, we were in the airport, and we stopped at the Great Lakes Brewery,
Of course.
and that was a fucking trip. The fucking server, his name was Josh, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And man, there was 5 of us that sat down at the table.
Uh-huh.
And he comes over and he's like, "Listen, guys," he's like, "everybody just sat down kind of at the same time." He's like, "Just give me a second." We're like,
He's like
bro.
preemptively weeded.
"Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
he looks like a huge fucking stoner."
Mhm.
And I'm like, and we're all like, "Okay, no, like that's totally cool. We get
Right.
it." A bunch of tables all sat at the same time. We all got through security, you know. So he finally comes back over and he's like, by this time we're also like starving. We want to eat before we get on the plane because it's supposed to be roughly about an 8-hour flight.
Sure.
So, and which they do give you food, but still, we're like, so
Now,
he comes over.
Do you pregame before you get to the airport?
I'm pretty sure Jess and I did a cocktail and a shot.
Okay, that's not bad.
Because then Krista picked us up and dropped us off at the airport.
Nice.
And then once we got through everything, so we order our beers, and when he comes over, he asks, we order our beers, and we're like, "Hey, bud, is there any chance that we can order our food at the same time? We're all ready, so
Right.
this will help save you." And he's like,
I'm not ready for that.
and then he's like, "Yeah, but here's the thing, you know, if you were to put your food order in now, you'd be like doing it before those people and those people," and
And
we're
then
like,
you'll get your food first, and they
Right.
might be mad.
"Right," and we're all
That
like,
sounds like a Josh problem.
Yeah, seriously. And literally at the same time, we're all like, no, that's fine. That's okay. We don't care. And he's like,
Sure.
okay, and like flips his pad and he goes, okay, so we're all doing one check. And we're like, no, actually, us 2 are together, those 2 are together, and this one's by himself. And he's like, oh my God. Like it's all over his face. And
Yeah.
then he just goes, let me just get these other drink orders in, and then we'll come back and get the food. And we're like, oh my God, okay, fine.
This can't be a new thing for an airport bartender that 5 people sit down and are like separate tabs.
Yeah, absolutely.
What the fuck?
And the thing is, we started feeling bad because we're like, well, maybe he's only been here for a week or like hasn't had much experience in serving. Turns out he's like bragging to another table that he's been at that bar in the airport for the last like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So, fuck off.
Get your fucking shit together.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's fast forward. We get onto the
Drinks
plane
and food
at the same time.
and then separate checks. Like, what do I look like? A fucking mathematical genius?
Yeah, like it's what the
what
fuck?
an asshole.
Yeah, and what's funny too is like so many places in Ireland, they're like, we order a drink, they're like, do you guys want to order your food now? We all just laugh, like,
Yeah.
look at this, we're in another country.
Yeah, and they can
and they're
handle
like,
that shit.
yeah, you want to do it all together? So yeah, the plane ride was supposed to be like 8 hours, but turns out we were going the way of the wind, and we got there in like a little over 6, so that was fucking dope.
No shit, early on a flight.
Mm-hmm.
That's unheard of.
Yeah. So yeah, the flight was actually pretty sweet. We got in there, put our shit in the hotel. We found a little pub, and ordered breakfast. And
nice. So what time is this?
What
time is this Ireland time?
It is about 9 a.m. Ireland time,
which makes it
about 4 a.m. here.
4 a.m.
Yeah, they're 5 hours ahead.
Okay.
So we left Saturday night, but with the time difference and so forth, we got there like 8 a.m.
Sunday morning.
The next morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, where I was like, all right, we're here. I'm gonna ask for this like traditional breakfast, and it's like eggs, bacon. They give you this big, giant, disgusting portobello mushroom that's like flipped upside down.
Oh yeah, that
all
sounds
over
awesome.
everything. There's like a small, like adorable, like ramekin of beans. And I'm trying to think what else. Oh, and you have your bangers.
I was gonna say there's some kind of a potato in here that we're not getting to yet.
Yeah, they give you like the potatoes. That's your mash, but then the bangers is like the sausage.
Sure.
So I was like, all right, fuck yeah,
I know
let's
that,
go.
by the way, asshole. I just meant after bangers, you're getting to the mash.
Oh yeah. Well, once you bang, then you mash.
Yeah. Now you're just mashing it.
Yeah.
I hope somebody made that joke a bunch of times while you were in Ireland.
Oh man, I don't know. There might have been one. Might have been one. So that was cool. And what's fun too is like we ate at like there's like a bunch of different spots that we'd get breakfast at, and then like Jess and I would separate. And it's fucking 10 a.m. and we'd go into this place, and they'd be like, all right, what do you guys want? And we're like, you guys want coffee, tea? And we're like, are you serving beer?
Alcohol.
Yeah. And they would like laugh and then go, yeah, okay. So we're like, yeah, we're on vacation. We're American. We want to drink beers at 10 a.m. A fucking red ale with our breakfast. You know?
Hell yeah.
So that was pretty dope. The weird thing is, so we rented a car. It's fucked up to be on the left side of the road and the steering wheel being on the right side of the car.
Yeah, I'm terrified of that.
It was, and the thing is, I was really excited. I was like, I definitely want to try this while I'm out here. And Travi was the one that signed up. He's the one that rented the car, and I was like a co-signer or whatever. The only other person allowed to drive, but I didn't end up driving at all. But it's fucked up, dude, especially when you first get there.
I'm sure.
In Dublin, it's nuts.
I'm sure. So now this person, Travi, now, has he driven internationally before? Like,
no.
No. So, wow.
No. So this was his first time, like, especially trying to follow, like, the shitty GPS they have, like, on the little screen of the car. It was definitely a wild first ride, like, from, like, renting the car to our hotel and so forth. But
does the GPS speak to you with an Irish brogue?
I think it was English. I don't think it wasn't Irish. It was English. But yeah, you kind of have a little bit of that accent.
You hit the start button. It's like top of the morning to you.
So yeah, that was fucking insane.
I bet.
And then especially at different parts of the journey, because we landed in Dublin and basically cut across the west, like the middle. Like I'm trying to remember everywhere we went now. We went from Dublin to Limerick. I don't know. We were in the Cliffs of Moher and Killarney, Kilkenny. You know, we're in all these different places.
Yeah.
Dingle was another one. But like there's certain parts where like you're riding along these cliffs and you have to, it becomes like a 1-lane road and it's on the side of a fucking cliff. So you have to like pull over a little bit if cars are coming. It's
holy shit.
Super fucked up.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is too, I saw a lot of cars that had these stickers that had like an L or an N in the window, and looked it up. And apparently if you have an L in the window of your car, it's basically like when you have your temps.
Oh.
Like you have to have an adult with you.
Okay.
And if you have an N on your car, it means you're like a new driver fresh on the road without any supervision. Like, so you got your license.
Are terrifying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like,
and you saw a bunch of them.
Yeah. And it'd be crazy. Like I was just thinking, I was like, man, if we had that here. Actually, I don't think anybody would even give a fuck. You'd still be honking. I'm like, get the fuck off the road.
Get off. Yeah, get out of my way, N.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, totally different, but yeah, sort of the same.
Yeah, and like when we were in Dublin, like the first 2 nights, like it was, it's very clusterfucked. Like there's people fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like being like downtown Cleveland with like New Orleans, like on a
Bustling,
weekend.
yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
That sounds awesome, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was, don't get me wrong, it was definitely dope just to experience like their nightlife and
Yeah.
you know, we ran into a bunch of different groups. There were stag and hen parties. You know what those are?
I don't.
So it's basically a bachelor and bachelorette party.
I kind of figured
Stag
from
party.
Letterkenny, they called it something different. What was it? A buck and doe is what they called it in Canada. A buck and doe, so it's a stag and hen.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So which
A lot
that
of
was,
parallels between Canada and Ireland.
yeah, and it's funny too. Is like I looked up this. I opened up a Dublin book that was in our hotel room.
Huh?
There was an ad in there for TGI Friday,
Stop it.
and basically,
Did you go?
No.
Oh, you turd.
But they were promoting like to basically throw your hens party there, and like just I forget the fucking sayings that were on there, but it was so funny. Like
I bet.
have your hens party. And it was just I don't know. It was just really funny to see like a TGI Friday
Yeah.
in Ireland for your bachelorette party.
Totally.
Which no one would do here.
No. Do people do it there? Like, is that a thing that people? Is it looked down upon, or like, is that or you don't know?
I have no idea. I just literally opened up. I was pooping. My phone was charging, so
Sure, yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a gander at this Dublin book. What
Right.
to do in Dublin? And
Right.
I hit a page of ads, and there was a half-page ad for TGI Fridays, and like all of these ladies like in their bachelorette costumes.
Oh no shit! All dressed up.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is like we saw a lot of them on the street, these parties. They were wearing like cowboy hats and like cowgirl like outfits.
Nice.
And it was the weirdest fucking thing, but it's like you guys like make fun of America, you
And then
know.
dress like it.
Right.
Exactly.
And I don't know if they're making fun of it or if they're like it is actually kind of dope. Like I don't know what the equivalent of that would be like.
An Irish cowboy hat. Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. No, yeah. They're just they look like they would be American, but in fact they were from there because we were walking right past them and we can hear their accents.
Nice. So what were the chicks like? Because you said you saw a bunch. I mean, it's like Ireland. Do they have like a nice stable of hot chicks?
I mean, I feel like it's the same as. I mean, I guess here. I mean,
Yeah.
you have like, you know, on both spectrums of being hot and not. You know.
I don't know, because I mean, when I think, so, you know, I'm 50% Irish. Half my family on that side is Gallagher's and O'Donnell's. When I think Irish broads, they're all like rough, you know, and like squat.
Sure.
And yeah, so I don't know. When I think like an Irish chick, I don't think like, oh, nice. I think like, ugh, like I wouldn't fight that outside of a
Yeah.
bar. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there are some. You must have seen some smoking hot Irish chicks.
Yeah. I mean, especially being down in like the Dublin area.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Their
just
downtown.
partying everywhere. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't really like eyeballing out for it to be like,
Sure.
who's the hottest chick in Dublin? You know, and also like, I mean, red hair, that's kind of an Irish thing. It's an Irish thing, right? All the red hair, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
I don't really feel like I saw a lot of redheads there,
that's interesting.
like in general, which is, you know, I felt like I would expect to see more, but
yeah,
I mean, everyone just had just like, I don't know, like all the other hair colors. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was like a few gingers, but
Sure.
like literally everybody else, like that we see in the majority was all just like every other hair color bought red.
It's funny. I was talking with a buddy of mine from work, George, and we went out for a beer like last week. And somehow Ireland came up in conversation, and I didn't bring it up. And I was like, yeah, some of my good friends are in Ireland right now. And I pulled up some of the pictures that you had sent.
Uh-huh.
And it was pictures of like you and Jess in, you know, different places. And he was like, oh, she's got red hair, huh? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, they're going to love that. And I was like, why? And he's like, oh, you know, because they all have red hair. And I was like, yeah, then why are they going to love it? Like,
Yeah.
it's not
Different.
Yeah.
Like in Japan, when they see like a redhead, they're like, holy fuck.
That's
it's a freak
almost
show.
exactly what I said. By the way, I was like, yeah, I was like, if a black person goes to Kenya, then from America, they're not going to be like, holy shit, a black person. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Like, or if a white person goes to Sweden, they're not going to be like, holy shit, you have those in America too. I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you getting excited about this person from America having red hair and going there? She's just going to fit in.
Yeah.
George, you're a fucking idiot, by the way.
So, and here's the funny thing, though, is as I said, we didn't see a lot of redheads. And Jess kept getting on several times in different days that she's like, I feel like I'm getting stink-eyed a bunch. And she just is like, I don't know if it's because I look American, like a trashy American, if it's my crazy red hair, or it's that I'm drinking a fucking Peroni at 9 a.m. in a diner where everyone's drinking coffee and tea. Could be any of those.
Yeah. Like maybe she's like American, Irish appropriating the culture with, oh, look, she came over from America with her fucking red hair, drinking beer in the morning.
Yeah.
She's fucking Irish. Like, what a ridiculous thing.
Yeah. There was one dude in the diner that Jess, I remember her pointing out that he was just staring at her, and she like looked up and she's like, what the fuck? And she said that she took a sip of her beer and caught eyes with them and then like winked at him.
Uh-huh.
And as she was drinking the beer, and the guy was just full of disgust, like, ugh, Jesus,
like,
fuck.
ew, you're drinking beer right now?
Probably, yeah.
Whatever. I had the same thing happen when I was in Asia. When we were going out for breakfast, Jen, like in the morning, like this be 7:30 in the morning, and Jen would get like a Vietnamese coffee because we were in Vietnam, and I was like, I'll have a beer, because they were 22 cents American.
Dope.
And it was 110 degrees outside.
Yeah.
So
ice cold beer.
I'll have an ice cold fucking 7:30 a.m. beer, and they're like so excited to serve a beer to someone. They're like, oh, that's because it's expensive, because the coffee is like 10 cents.
Uh-huh.
And I'm having
it's more costly for them.
Yeah, 22-cent beer, and they're like, oh, we'll bring that to you presently. Like, I'm like, great. And I would drink 9 beers and it'd be like $2.
Yeah.
Like, I would tip $2, and they're like, holy shit, you can come back anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
Hell yeah.
I mean, speaking of beers, we did stop at the Guinness factory.
Awesome.
Had to get one fresh out,
Fuck yeah, dude. I would do that in a second if I went there.
And like I typically only drink Guinness on patties and occasionally like in the winter when it's cold. But it was kind of like a fun house. I mean, like you get in, it's got all like literally
in general, or like our bar, the fun house.
No, just like in general. And I'm like not really a fun house. It's just very like attractions, things to do in this brewery. It's like 5 floors.
Oh wow.
And so like when you walk in, immediately there's like a giant fucking gift shop. Like you have to like walk through in order to like get
marketing.
to the rest. Yeah, it's great fucking marketing.
Right.
Great marketing.
Hit the gift shop on your way in, have some beers, hit it on the way out.
Yep.
Yeah, smart.
So we got through. There was an area where you can take a photo, and then they print it on the top of your Guinness.
Yeah, that's amazing. Did you get that done?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was neat. And then there was the 5th floor. Like there was different shit to do throughout the things, like looking at all of the statues that are on their Guinness posters and taking photos with them. Or there was a room that they were playing all of the commercials that they've ever had on TV for Guinness, which was kind of neat.
And probably hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
ones from like the fucking 80s and 90s and stuff. They're so completely outdated and ridiculous. But once you got to like the top floor, it was basically like in a completely glass all the way around, and you could see all the way across the city.
Super cool.
In like a circle. So it was a dope place to kind of hang out and like drink your beers,
Yeah. So what you did not get, you didn't do the getting certified to pour a pint, though. Isn't that the place where you can sign up for a class to get like a certificate?
Was that you that asked me that while I was on the trip?
I think so.
I didn't see anything that said that, but I also wasn't looking for it.
Sure.
So very possible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's a big attraction, and I mean, I'm one of those suckers who would totally do it. It's like it probably costs $100 or whatever, and you have to take like a 30-minute class in how to pour a perfect pint of Guinness, which takes 121 seconds. By the way, in case anyone was wondering, that's how long a perfect pint takes. But yeah, they teach you that, and then they give you a little certificate. So basically, you pay $100 to pour one beer and have a piece of paper that says, somebody in Ireland said, I poured a good pint.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've poured a lot of Guinnesses that were pretty beautiful.
Pints. Probably 98-second pints, you fucking turd.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they're 111.
121, baby.
But listen, at least I wasn't paying them. I was getting paid like $4.25.
All
So
right, you got me there. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I saved that, and I spent $100 on Guinnesses.
Yeah.
I'm feeling real dumb about my ideas right now. Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. Ireland,
sorry.
I've always wanted to take that trip, and I'm gonna do it, but I'm so excited.
You should definitely do it. It was fucking pretty incredible. Like,
Yeah.
we saw multiple castles, doing tours. We did a prison, a haunted prison. I'm doing quotations.
Right.
But it was still fucking cool to see anyways. I mean, I would love just walking through prisons in general.
Sure.
But it was like, I mean, the stories and the history behind it was fucking pretty awesome. We saw like old like castle ruins. We checked out a church. Surprisingly, I didn't burn up as soon as I fucking walked in.
Right.
I mean, 666 tattooed on my ass.
That's true.
But yeah, I don't know. And then we got out to the Cliffs of Moher. Are you familiar with that is?
I am not.
So basically, it's just like a huge fucking like cliff, and it kind of like works its way. At least on one end is kind of like a peninsula, and I think we did like the south end, but there's a north end you could take. I think that's like a longer. It probably took us about an hour and a half to get all the way to the end, and then we kind of hoofed it back and got back in like an hour. So about 2.5 to 3 hours, we did the whole thing.
Oh, like as a hike?
Yeah, it's just a hike. Yeah,
wow.
It's strictly like a hike. And the thing is like we purposely brought like windbreaker, water-resistant jackets for this trip, for this, especially for that day.
I would expect that
because
too,
apparently it's just always rainy. It's like foggy as shit. You can't see the other side. We fucking lucked out.
No shit.
Like we could see all the way down across. Like it was hot as fuck. It was beautiful. Like we couldn't have asked for a better, perfect fucking day.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't know. That was pretty amazing. And then just seeing like silly things along the way, like different flavored chips. Like this is a flame grilled steak chips.
Oh yeah.
And there was like all these crazy flavors for Doritos. There was actually at one of the gas stations, they had a propane tank there, like that they're selling, but they called it bottled gas.
I'm sure you had a time with that.
Which I mean, like, you're not wrong.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? If they came over here and they're like, hey, you got any bottled gas? And we're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, oh, there it is. And we're like, you mean a propane tank? And they go, not wrong. It's just silly to see, you know? And then we went and got our tattoos.
Awesome.
We had to stop. I mean, every vacation, Justin and I always get tattoos.
Yep.
So I got the toucan with the Guinness pint on its peak.
Yep.
Like the Guinness on those posters and stuff.
Yep.
And Jess got a Irish Wolfhound.
Love it.
Actually, when we were in Dublin, there was like a bar that had it kind of carved into like the curb.
I saw that.
Yep. And so she got a tattoo of that done. Nice. So
and then you posted a picture of an Irish Wolfhound also.
Yeah. So we stayed in a castle for one night.
Yeah.
This is where we kind of splurged a little.
Smart.
But there was a fucking giant ass like Irish Wolfhound.
They're just fucking enormous,
dude. Huge.
Yeah. Especially for you.
Yeah. I'm only 5'7", and when that thing was standing up, it's like head cam like even maybe above my waist.
Yeah.
But it was like the sweetest can be. The dog's name was Molly.
Love it.
But yeah, it just roams the grounds. It just takes naps like wherever the fuck it wants. Like
that's amazing.
Jess found it like on like a little like a love seat down like a random ass hallway. Just this giant ass fucking dog like curled up like this, hanging off the fucking couch. Was hysterical. But that's so cool. And then we made our way down to Dingle. Dingle was also pretty fucking gorgeous. This is where I was telling you where where the lanes kind of come like into like one lane when you're riding around the cliffs. We end up hitting, because how long the tattoos took, and up driving through that where like the sunset was happening, and it was fucking gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Nice.
But we got into Dingle, sweet little town, and in fact, we were walking around looking for a bar to drink at. And as soon as we got to this bar, there was this kid out there smoking a cigarette. And we're like, is this place open? Because it's kind of dark inside. He's like, yeah. He's like, come on. He's like, where are you from? And we're like, oh, Cleveland, Ohio. And he's like, the first fucking thing he says is, hey, LeBron James. I was like,
of course.
Motherfucker. Yeah.
He's from Akron, asshole.
Yeah.
But yeah.
LeBron James, number one.
Yeah, exactly. He's the Irish Borat.
Yeah. Sweet kid, though. And like,
basketball, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like one of those like cool little bars. It's like very like dark and like, our kind of scene. Cheap as hell. And then
What does cheap as hell mean? I'm just curious.
So a lot of, Dublin downtown, beers were probably, I think, I don't know, like $7-8 a pint, something like that.
Yeah. That's not terrible.
No, I know, but like here it's, like if you were to get a pint of Guinness here, it's like $4.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're getting a pint of Guinness over there, it's like 6 or 7.
That's not bad.
I guess there's also the difference of the U.S. dollar to the euro, but but there's also, they don't ask for tips. They literally, I
was going to ask about that, yeah.
Yeah, you literally just go, let me get 2 pints of Guinness, and they just hand you, like, they give you the back of, like, their machine, and you just tap your card. They go, all right, thanks, that's
they
it.
don't run tabs, though, right?
No tabs.
No tabs.
No tabs.
That is something I heard about recently, that's, like, a thing, that running tabs is strictly an American thing. In anywhere else, especially anywhere in Europe, they do not do that. It's pay as you go. You say, I'll have 2 beers and 2, or whatever they have over the Bushmills or whatever.
Yeah.
And exactly what you said. They just hand you the thing, and they're like, cool, pay out.
Yep, that's it. Yeah,
and
literally.
So was there a tip line?
No. You don't even get to look at the screen.
Oh, no shit.
They literally, they punch it in. It's like one of those little like handheld things.
Yeah.
They punch it in, and then just all you're seeing is the back of the machine, and they just tell you to tap your card. And you just tap it. And then they go, all right, thanks, have a good night. Like, that's it. Yeah, no tabs, no tips. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it was, But we got down to Dingle. See, it was cheaper than being like around the downtown area.
Sure.
So since we're talking about Dingle, I do need to give a shout out to the boys that we met down there.
Absolutely. I was going to ask if you met any cool people, but off you go. Let's
yeah, here we go. So there's a quick little shout out in Dingle to Dara, Jamie, and Louie, which I have to mention is the best looking.
Which one? Or all of them?
Louie.
Louie?
Yeah. So when he told me his name, he's like, I'm Louie, the best looking, obviously. And I was like, oh, you're such a sweet little boy. He's got such a baby face.
Is Dara a girl?
No, all 3 are boys.
All boys.
Yep.
Dara, Jamie, and Louie.
Yep.
All boys.
All boys.
Louie,
and Louie.
Quite obviously the best looking one.
Yes. And so as I was laughing, I was like, what a sweet little boy. And then the older ones, the others are like, fuck off,
The uglies.
And then so they're like, he's like, no, we'll prove it. He's like, pick somebody to see who's the best looking. I go, out of you 3? And he's like, yeah. And I go, all right, let me ask my girlfriend. And so I called Jess over, and I'm like, hey, which one of these 3 is the best looking? And she's like, oh, no, don't make me do this. And I go, she's like, do I rate them like 1, 2, 3? And I go, no. I go, just pick
Top one.
Yeah. Which one is the best looking? She picked Louie.
No shit.
Yeah.
Would you have picked the same?
He's the most adorable, so probably. He's got such a baby face. The other 2 were slightly older. So shout out to the boys, Dara, Jamie, Louie.
Because we typically only hang out with good-looking people.
Yeah. So, shout out to you, boys.
Yeah. And Dara and Jamie, we like drinking with uggos also.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cheers.
So the cool thing with them is I asked them if they listen to podcasts. They're pumped. They're like, yeah, we do. And I was like, you guys got Spotify? And they're like, yeah.
Nice.
So I pull out some of our stickers. They just automatically started scanning them. They started following, which is awesome. So I was like, here, boys, take some more stickers. Hand these out to your friends.
We are super international, baby.
We are. I was actually looking on the way home, and we are also in Germany and Australia. So we're in 7 countries right now.
Nice.
73, I think, cities total.
That's amazing.
So we're getting up there, bud.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
17 weeks, and we're crushing 7 countries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
This is a pretty solid rate.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny, too? Another thing about the bars, every bar we went to, for the exception of a couple, there was some bars that did some Irish jingles, or had the Irish cover bands or whatever. But I would say 90% of the bars we went to, all American music.
No shit.
All of it.
Wow. Like what kind?
Everything from 90s to 2000s. An occasional 80s song here and there.
Did they have like touch tunes, like jukeboxy type stuff?
No, I didn't see any. I didn't see any touch tunes. There was one like old bar we went to that had like one of like the push button like CD ones.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it even actually worked.
Interesting.
But they fucking loved American music. Like they even like the cover bands. They were doing like even like the Miley Cyrus Flower song.
No
like,
shit.
Like they're doing all American songs. And also, I almost forgot about this. Everyone is very familiar with the Sweet Caroline,
Of course.
right? And once you do the Sweet Caroline part, you say what? You go, Sweet Caroline.
Bum, bum, bum.
Right. So over there, they say, whoa, oh, oh.
No shit.
Yeah. So I had to record it. I'm going to play a little clip of it.
Hell yeah.
Are you ready?
Fuck yeah.
Is that weird?
It's weird, but it's awesome.
So they do that too. Hold on. It's weird, right?
This is a live. You recorded this live?
Yeah, that was during.
No shit. That was a bar singing along.
That was the bar to a cover band. There was like one dude that was up there.
Shit.
The entire bar was singing that, and
That's fucking incredible.
And so we're like, okay, this is kind of funny because it's such a. I mean, it's a huge thing here.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter. Everybody fucking sings and claps along, especially the bop 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 parts.
Of course.
So as it was playing, we start going bop bop. What the fuck?
Right.
And so we had to like wait for it for the next round. They're going whoa oh oh,
That's
and we're
amazing.
like, it's kind of funny, and I might start doing that now.
You want to whoa oh oh?
I mean,
Because
whoa
we're
are
international.
because we're fucking international.
Yeah, we'll be like, ugh, you
I mean-
poor American pieces of shit with your bums. Like, have you never traveled?
I mean,
fuck
yeah.
Gross. Why don't you expand your fucking horizons and have a whoa in your life?
I mean, whoa seems way cooler than
I
bop
agree.
bop bum.
Yeah, bum is pretty overplayed.
Yeah. So let's change it up and start going whoa.
Yeah. You know, I'm a little sad that they. Well, I mean, not that they. Because you said this was a single person that was doing. They were playing out like on stage.
Yeah. It was a cover band. It was just one
Yeah.
guy. He has like a little drum track and like
amazing.
you know, and yeah, it's him like an acoustic guitar.
I probably would have asked if he had "Hang On Sloopy" in his repertoire, so then you could get the whole Irish bar going OHIO.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that there were some bars that we went to that they would ask like, "Where's everybody from?" Like, "Hey, where are you guys from?" And like, we ran into people from Chicago. They were complete pricks.
They're fucking everywhere.
They're
People
complete
from Chicago,
pricks.
and by the way, I love you, and my sister. Love you, Frankster, my cousin. But people from Chicago are typically pieces of shit.
I have friends that also live there, Matt and Corey.
Yeah.
And I also after my first trip to Chicago, I was like, people are fucking rude there.
Rude.
Like, what do you mean?
They're like, oh, I live in Chicago, so I'm international. No, you're not. You live in Chicago. It's fucking 5 hours from Cleveland,
Yeah.
so suck your dick. Yeah, you're not better than me. It's fucking 5 hours from here.
Yeah. Man, what was I was just gonna say?
Chicago dicks.
Oh yeah. So they like the Chicago people. Yeah, they're completely fucking rude to the person, and we're like, oh my god.
The
like,
person like the singer?
Yeah. So like the one dude would like he was
assholes.
like, hey, tell me. And also, there's a banger song called "Ride Like the Wind." I'm not sure if you're familiar. Love it. This one dude came out. That's what he opened with. And I was like, holy fuck, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But then he started playing tracks. He's like, hey, I'm open for suggestions. And they were like older folk too. I'm talking 60s, 70s. And the old lady like goes up and like asks for a song. And then he's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to feel like doing that song. We'll see. And she comes back over and the guy looks over at me and he's like, well, I guess there goes your tip. Am I right? And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this guy, A, isn't working for your tips, dickhead.
Yeah.
And also, like, if he doesn't want to play your shitty-ass song, then fuck off. Leave the bar.
It's a request, asshole.
Yeah.
It's not a demand.
Yeah. And then he started dropping some fucking sweet 90s songs. We're like, oh, what would be a fun one? We're like, Proclaimers, 500 Miles.
Of course.
So I go up there and ask him, and he kind of laughs. He's like, all right. He's like, I could probably do that. He's like, give me, like, 10 minutes to, like, prepare. And I sit back down, and I go, I think they're from Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's a a battle at all.
Like a divisional thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
probably.
Scotland isn't Scotland part of the UK, and
Yeah.
it's like the Upper Ireland.
Yeah, I'm
So
terrible
where
at
we're at-
geography, but yeah.
But like, yeah, I'm pretty sure like the rest of Ireland isn't part of the UK, and they're like, fuck off,
Right.
still trying to get the whole dependence thing. Anyways,
yeah.
but
Did they
yeah.
did they play the Proclaimers? Because that would be fucking.
we end up leaving after like 15,
bummer.
20 minutes. Yeah, we end up like fucking off. It was like the end of our night, and I think we were ready. We had to get up early to go to the next town, so we didn't.
Be a fun song to sing along to with a fake American Irish brogue, like, because I would walk 500 miles.
Yeah.
You know, it's super fun to do that, and like, to be swinging around a stein of fucking Guinness, it'd be super fun.
Yeah, that would have
Hell
been
yeah.
super dope.
Yeah.
Or also that like reminds you like in like Euro Trip, like the
Oh yeah, it was great.
my
movie.
baby takes the morning train. Yeah, that would have been fun to like swing
Yeah, for
arms
sure.
and beers around.
Definitely.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's pretty much for the trip for mostly I can remember. I know there was a point where I was kind of done eating like stew. Let me get to like their fucking stews.
Dude, you're reading my mind. Like, I was gonna
Amazing.
ask you
I
about the
forgot to
people,
get into the
then we were
food.
gonna get into the food.
I
like,
forgot. Yes.
'cause
Let's get into the food.
That's my thing. I go places for the food. We again, listeners, we never pregame about like what exactly we're gonna talk about. But of course, I haven't seen the pizza in 2 weeks, so
been
we
2
had
weeks.
we had a 4.5 minute cigarette long conversation, and I was like, dude, I want to talk about some of the food. So yeah. I want to hear all about it because I'm 50% Irish. Let's be honest, they're not known for their cuisine. It's potato based. It's most of their food is boiled. So it's not my thing. I'm excited to hear about some of the food. So how was it?
Actually, everything was amazing. I had
Really?
yeah. So like I told you about that breakfast when we first got there, it was great. There was a bar called Devitts. I don't know. It was like DEVITTS, and it's in Dublin. That was the best scrambled eggs I ever fucking had. It was they're just scrambled eggs, but they were amazing.
Yeah.
I had fish and chips on a couple occasions.
Awesome.
Delicious. The stews are great. We found on accident. We found apparently there's a little craft IPA bar that we found.
Huh.
And we went there for lunch, and they had something called a hunter's stew.
Okay.
It was amazing.
What makes
Bagel,
that difference?
let me tell you.
Yeah. What's the difference between a hunter stew versus like a Irish stew?
Let me break it down for you.
Please.
I don't know. I don't remember what's even in Irish stew, but this has got fucking like lamb. It's got like andouille sausage, potatoes, carrots.
Just sounds great. Already.
There was some other shit in there. I forget. They had some mushrooms in there, and they had kraut in there.
What?
That's what I'm saying. Let me say this again. They had kraut in there.
Andouille
Yes.
and kraut. What are they? Where are they hunting?
I don't know.
Fucking Spanish sausage.
Yeah.
And fucking German cabbage.
I don't know.
I love this,
Dude, it was so good. I've never had a stew with kraut in it.
Was
but
it mixed in, or was it
Oh
on
yeah,
top
no,
or on the bottom?
Oh no,
Like,
it was just all in there.
dispersed
Yeah, it
into
was
the
just
stew.
all
Oh, no
dispersed,
shit.
like probably like all cooked together.
Oh my god.
Like it was so fucking good. Like I've never had a stew with that in there, and I am now looking forward to
Me making a fucking
making
hunter
a stew.
Hell
Yeah, here's a
'cause-
photo.
Oh, I saw that picture. That was the photo
That's the hunter
that
stew.
looked the best of the stuff that you
Oh
posted
my God,
food-wise.
it
That
was
looked
so
fucking
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Obviously, from that picture, you can't see stuff like andouille or kraut, but
Yeah.
that looked awesome. Also, shout out to Dan Amador, because anytime I talk to him, all we talk about is how we want to eat stew together. But
'Tis the season.
We like it when it's hot. We like it when it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
We just love a good stew. But yeah, that looked amazing, and that would be the thing I'm the most excited for Ireland is a good like Guinness Irish beef stew.
Yeah.
I would never expect things like andouille in it. I would never expect, certainly not kraut, but they sound. I mean, I can see it on my tongue right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah,
Sounds
I've
dope.
already talked to Jess about like if we're gonna do a stew night because her fucking
Are we
stew.
doing a fucking stew night?
Oh yeah, why not?
Oh my god,
Dude, like her fucking stew is bussin'.
bro, we should do a stew night where we get a couple people together, and then we can, and I'd be happy to be one of them, And then we could do flights of stew.
Dude,
we could
love
have
it.
people over and have like a board where you get 4 little cups of stew.
Dude, it's funny you say that because we actually discussed the same
Stew
yeah.
flights.
Well, we were just talking about having like a stew night that multiple people bring over different stews and we all just eat each other's stews.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, an Irish orgy.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's all come over. Oh, and try a little bit of everybody's stew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so
sounds
stew night. Yeah, dude, the food was fantastic over there, except for one thing. We'll do a quick little shot ski.
Yeah, absolutely.
Salud.
Cheers. Slanche.
Nice. So,
Yeah.
yeah, like right at the end of the trip, I was just kind of like done with like fish and stews and whatnots.
Sure.
And it was me, Jess, and Travi were walking around looking for something to eat, and we walked past. They actually had like an Italian restaurant there, and we were like laughing about it. We're like, we're not gonna eat Italian food here, but the menu looked dope though.
Oh, I know exactly where you're going, but go on. Only from the pictures I saw, but go on.
Okay, so we found a spot and we sit down, and Jess ordered a stew.
Smart.
Travi got a fish and chips.
Smart.
And me jokingly ordered the lasagna.
You fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. Yeah. I bet the lasagna here is good.
Oh, no, I was not expecting
in
it.
Dingle or wherever the fuck
We were, I think actually this is back, I think we were back in downtown Dublin because we circled back around and did Dublin for the last night to fly home.
Sure.
And I think that's where we were. But I was like, just for shits and giggles, let's have a lasagna in Ireland.
Hell yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. When we were in Mexico, we were at a restaurant and I got a bolognese and it was fucking amazing.
Really?
Yeah, for reals.
Wow.
So they bring it out to me and it's very silly. Like, it's in like a mini little cast iron.
Yeah, it's like a lollipop cast iron.
Yeah, and then they had a side of fries and then a little salad.
Yeah, what was going on with that little salad? That was the thing that threw me off in the picture. It was like the cast iron looked like a bowl of cheese, and I'm excited to hear how it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that there were fries on the side of it, which is an interesting side choice to go with pasta.
Just a side of chips.
Yep, I'll have fries with my pasta, sure.
Yep.
They're like, you Americans enjoy your carbs.
Yep.
But okay, and then the other side of it was like, it looked like raw bell peppers with ranch on it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
as I was taking bites of the
Hilarious.
salad, I go, interesting. Not ranch, not blue cheese. I asked with the server what it was. You have a guess?
No,
Mayo.
straight mayo.
I guess. Some sort of mayo. And, like, it wasn't, like, thin enough to be a
you
dressing.
weren't-
It
you
was...
weren't in Mayo, which is a huge city in Ireland.
No, we were in Dublin.
Holy shit! Maybe they were poking fun.
I listen, I don't know.
They're like, oh shit, those fucking idiot Americans ordered the lasagna. They're like, give them the fries, give them a salad, and put some mayo on it.
Yeah.
Fucking dummies.
They fucking love mayo over there.
Exactly.
But so the lasagna, it was basically made like a shepherd's pie. Like the meats and stuff of the lasagna, like instead of having like a bottom layer of noodles, it was basically the meat and stuff was at the bottom.
Okay.
And then just kind of some like noodles on top, and then just basically
One layer.
Yeah, and then just like some sauce and cheese, and then just probably threw into the oven.
Yeah.
It looks like it was just put into the oven to like melt it all down.
Yeah. It looked like cheese dip when you posted the picture.
It
looked
does look like cheese dip.
I saw the fries,
Yeah.
and I honestly, when I was looking at it, I was like, the stew looks pretty good, and the cheese dip looks pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw somebody questioned you, and I think it was Crump, and he was like, "Is that the fucking lasagna?" And you were like, "Yeah."
Because I think I sent him a snap of it
You must
at
have,
the
'cause
time.
he knew ahead of time. And love you, Crump, but you're not, culinarily picking out dishes like, oh, is that the Irish lasagna? But yeah, it looked like cheese. And then I was laughing also because G Star after you guys had that short conversation about how that was the quote unquote Irish lasagna, and we found out that it was noodles and cheese, their lasagna, and then fries on the side. G Star's first comment was, "Well, that's a lot of carbohydrates." I'm like, "Yeah, buddy."
Yeah, but also Kyle Ware came in and said double carbs don't count on vacation,
Well,
which not wrong.
correct.
Yeah, so taste-wise, the lasagna actually wasn't terrible.
How was the meat stuff? Never mind the noodles or the cheese.
Meats, yeah.
Was the meat stuff good?
Like,
I would imagine it was.
Yeah, it was delicious. Yeah. I mean, like that lasagna it was good for, it's an Irish place. Like, because there are actual Italian restaurants in there.
Sure.
Which probably are doing legit Italian stuff. But when you're in, like, it's all Irish stuff, and they have just like this one lasagna for the fucko, like me, that's going to come in and order it.
Yeah, but I would also have to imagine for food like that, like Ireland, they're probably, I would imagine they don't have any concept of what the idea of farm to table is, because in Ireland, everything is farm to table. It's not like here where it's like, oh, farm to table is an amazing thing. Like, wow, we got this from a farm nearby versus we get it from a processing plant. I would imagine in Ireland, they source all their meat from they're like, oh yeah, this place has amazing cows, and this place has amazing lamb, and this place has amazing
fish.
Yeah, and we get it all local. And so I would imagine that it's not like, oh, you can also go to the Irish Costco and get a tube of meat for 80 cents a pound or whatever.
Dude, speaking of like Costco grocery stores, like we popped in a couple just to grab some snacks, like basically some meats and cheeses and like a bottle of wine.
Sure.
Their food over there is so fucking cheap.
I bet.
Compared to America.
It's because of the farm to table. It's because they get it all local.
No, listen. Well,
it's got to be because they don't have to fly it anywhere. They get it all from there.
But, and I also, listen, we found cereals like Rice Krispies and like other things that are American. However, I think we found out that there is a factory also somewhere else, but like.
Sure.
Instead of just being in America, it's in other countries, like the Kellogg's, factories. But dude, it's so fucking cheap.
That's awesome.
Like, for like the box of cereal, for example, like here, how much is like a box of like Rice Krispies cost here in America?
Almost $5.
Right. It was like about $2 over there. Insane.
Yeah,
so cheap.
Something.
Everything. All the food there in the grocery stores were so cheap.
It's interesting to do that kind of stuff. Like, I remember when Jen and I went to Aruba, and we went to this little place that you have to walk out on this dock, and it's out in the water. And they're known for their grouper sandwiches. And they're like $7. And it's a huge piece of fish they literally catch right off of that dock. It's $7 for the sandwich. It's huge. It comes with fries. We were there, and I'm like, well, I'm on vacation. We're going to be out swimming, like out in the fucking ocean and stuff. Like, I don't want to eat a fried fish sandwich. I was like, I'm going to have something light. I ordered this, I don't know, some sort of a like seafood salad. It was $21. The grouper sandwiches were huge and amazing and like $7. And this salad I ordered was like $21 because they didn't have prices on the menu. Whatever, they bring over the bill, and the server comes over, and I'm like, listen, I'm happy to pay this. I'm just curious. Why the fuck is my salad so expensive, and these sandwiches are so cheap? And they were like, the lettuce. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, we don't grow lettuce in Aruba. We have to fly that in.
Oh.
Your salad's expensive because of... And I'm like, by the way, I ate all the good shit on the top, and I left all the lettuce behind. And they're like, yeah, you left $18 worth of lettuce on that plate.
Oh my
you
God.
fat shit. Like,
well, why
I'm like, God damn it, I should have just gotten the sandwich.
But also, why were you leaving all the lettuce behind?
Because lettuce is gross.
But I mean, do you eat like salads?
Yeah, I've had a salad in my All
right. Well, I didn't know if you're getting a salad and only eating like the tomatoes and cucumbers and leaving all the lettuce behind.
Oh, listen, it makes you feel better. I mean, I've had a lot of salads in my life. I remember there was one time when this is a totally off of Ireland conversation.
That's
where
right.
Jen was telling me that because we're married, so she's allowed to say shit like you need to eat some more salads, right? So I was like, yeah, I'll absolutely do that. And then she came home, and I was half drunk and really high, and I was like, hey. And she caught me, and I was like eating ice cream, and she's like, what are you doing eating ice cream? I told you to eat more salads. And I'm like, I did. She's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I had chicken salad for breakfast, I had pasta salad for lunch, and I had ham salad. Now, baby gets ice cream. And she was like, that's not what I meant, like, eat shit with lettuce in it. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. And I didn't do it until we got to Aruba, and they were like, we want $3,500 for that lettuce. And I was like, fuck me. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, live and learn. Fuck salads. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Thanks.
But yeah, I mean, besides that, I mean, the trip overall was pretty incredible.
It
We
sounds
did stop
amazing.
at like a McDonald's just for fun
Sure.
because we were drunk.
Yeah.
They serve mozzarella sticks there.
No shit. Did you get some?
Yeah,
Of course you
had
did.
to. Yeah, I mean, but yeah. Also, they were
It's not
doing
called like an O'Donnell's.
no.
Just
Everything
a
is still just
straight up
McDonald's. Yeah,
McDonald's, yeah.
that's actually funny. Yeah, and
Thank you.
having McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
But what's funny is though that they were doing the Monopoly.
They still do that.
Well, I don't
Nice.
think we do it here, but yeah, they were doing it there when we were there, and also they were advertising for that Big Tasty. Do you remember the Big Tasty?
I remember hearing about it, and I remember what was that show? Fuck, there was some sitcom that was based on the 80s. I can't remember what it's called, but one of the people on it, his nickname was Big Tasty. Fuck, I'll think of it in a second.
Not
Go
the
on.
same thing.
Yeah, no, not the same thing. But go on. Yeah, I remember
But-
hearing about it, but I don't remember what it was.
It
or
was
what the sandwich
so
is.
it was a sandwich, and it came out like early 2000s, I think, and it was around for like I don't know, a handful of months.
Okay.
It just was like a over seasoned, like thick ass patty. With all the regular shit on it. Nothing really crazy about it, but like it lasted for a couple months, and here in America we're like, it's too salty or not as good as everything else. Fuck off with that.
I don't want all this flavor.
Yeah, they're fucking trying to slam that shit out over there.
Is it working? Are they selling?
I mean, I guess I
Did
don't
you
know.
get one?
No,
You didn't Big Tasty?
no.
Oh, have yourself an Irish Big Tasty.
Yeah, but other than that, man, it was a pretty
amazing.
incredible trip.
All right. So we covered, you had some fun with some music. We talked about food. We talked about travel. We talked about people you met. And that's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
Sounds like an awesome trip. 10
How we-
days?
10 days. Yeah, we just got
That's
back
fucking awesome.
Sunday night.
All right. And I don't want to put you out, but let's talk about, so like flights just for one round trip, because we talked about it going Cleveland to Dublin.
Mm-hmm.
What does that cost?
It was a round trip thing, and I
Yeah.
think it was like around like $700.
Are you shitting me?
No, I swear to God.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, that's why we're like,
Dude, yeah, I'll just
We have to
take,
get
I'll
this
just take
right
2
now.
weeks off drinking.
Yeah,
and
we have
go
to
to
get this right
fucking
now.
Ireland. Yeah. Fuck.
yeah, it was like $700, like maybe like I don't know, a little give or take there, but
my
like
God.
for the round trip.
Yeah. I gotta stop spending my money like a goddamn moron.
Yeah,
I spend my money on such dumb shit, and I could be going to Ireland. Like, it's so dumb.
yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. So, do you guys have another trip planned? Because you guys seem like planners.
We do. We're in the talks of like looking to see what next year's trips are going to be. There's nothing in certain, but we have some things in mind.
All right. Anyway, so
Yeah.
have you thought of where you might want to go for your next trip?
We've had multiple talks. I don't know. There was like we thought. So even before we started doing the Ireland thing, we were talking about like Japan would be sick as fuck.
Oh my god. Me too. It's so fucking expensive, but me too.
Very expensive, but
So
it's the thing that you save up for. But turns out they were basically putting themselves into like another COVID lockdown. So we're like, all right, that's out. We're like, well,
Sure.
we heard like Peru is awesome.
Yep.
Well, they're having riots, so not a good time to go.
Okay.
We talked about Morocco.
Well, I would go and participate in a Peruvian riot.
I mean, why not?
They
You only live
sound
once, right?
small. I mean, are people from Peru large people?
No, I'm just dude. There was a lot of videos online that shit was getting way out of hand.
Yeah,
it's not
but
something you actually on paper sounds fun. When you're
does
actually
sound
involved, you're like, I'm not from here. I need to go home.
I don't know. It feels like being like in a mosh pit at like a what was that? Blue Monday or whatever. I don't know.
A mosh pit of fucking Molotov cocktails.
Like 12-year-olds with Molotov cocktails. Yeah. I
No.
could beat up 14 of them, and I'm not super flammable. I mean, I am currently, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I would go
participate in
in a Peruvian
riot.
Fuck yeah.
I
That
mean-
sounds fun.
Sounds like a country song.
Yeah. Peruvian riot. It also sounds like a delicious entree.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll start with the appetizer, and then I'll have the Peruvian riot. Yeah.
You know that's that's something
I would
that's really,
fuck with it.
dude. Speaking of that, it sounds like a delicious dish.
Go on.
This is something I had this discussion like I don't know a handful of years back ago, and when you're talking like Italian, right? Like everything sounds like an amazing dish, right? But the funny thing is, you could say anything, and well, I mean that's just it, right? Like it sounds like an amazing dish.
Sure.
But if I were to say to you, hold on, I have to fucking.
I'm so excited.
I got to pull this up because this is a discussion that we had like years ago, and we're like, it's hilarious. So if I were to say, castaneto stupro, like, all right, yeah, like that sounds like a pretty delicious dish. Like maybe some sort of like a special
digestif. I was gonna say like that sounds like something I would order after I had dinner.
Okay.
Yeah.
And see, like when like me hearing it, like castaneto stupro, like sounds like this could be like a special pasta.
Oh sure.
Like maybe like instead of like a soup du jour, it's a pasta du jour, right?
Maybe some fancy fucking turd shows up at your table and mixes it up and is like, ooh, castaneto stupro.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, and they grate cheese on it, and
and you're like, yeah, I'll have. We'll do castaneto stupro for the whole table, right?
Yeah.
Turns out that means dumpster rape.
Now, is that like an entree or is it like an appetizer? I mean,
I think it's the main dish.
Well, maybe for you. I mean, to be perfectly honest, can I order a half dumpster rape as like an appetizer to share?
I mean, I'm not really sure how to order and have.
Can we have one for the table, James? And can the two of us get split on different checks? I mean, imagine if you're, or was it Joshua?
Joshua,
Joshua. Imagine if Joshua was there and we're like, yeah, we'd love the dumpster rape, but it's just me and the wife on one check. And he's like, dude,
no,
could you just order your fucking aperitifs and then we'll get to the dumpster rapes because I'm pretty weeded.
Everyone's getting a dumpster rape at this table and you're sharing
you're gonna break
and you're going to like it.
Into dumpster rape fifths and then I have to split them out on checks. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to tip you. This is a traditional Italian dumpster rape dish. So I don't understand why there's a tip line, Josh. You fucking turd. All right, so we'll circle back for a second. So the other funny thing about George, my dumb friend from work, who was laughing, I was going to say in jest, but it's about Jess having red hair. When I was saying, yeah, so they're in Ireland, he's like, oh, that's so cool. How long are they there? And I was like, about a week and a half. And he's like, when are they coming home? And I was like, yeah, they're back at the end of this week. And he's like, oh, did you get them anything? And I was like, George, I'm not sure if you understand or if you've ever gone anywhere or had a friend that's gone anywhere. Why would I buy them anything?
Like a
to come, like
welcome home present?
Back to Cleveland present? And he was like, yeah, I mean, like when you travel, and I was like, I didn't travel, George. Like I didn't travel at all. Maybe if I took an amazing trip, you might be like, oh, did you bring anything back for people?
Yeah, like in Home Alone, right? Like bring me back something French.
Bring me back something. That's exactly what I fucking said to him. Bring me back something French. Yeah, that fucking turd. Yeah. And I was like, what are you talking? By the way, George, you're a fucking idiot.
Fucking George.
Yeah, fucking idiot. And he was like, oh, you didn't get that. And I was like, what am I supposed to get them? And he was like, I don't know, something like from Cleveland. And I was like what? He was like, I don't know, something funny. And I'm like, yeah, I'll just go ahead and Tony will come
like
home.
Like what, like a double-sided dildo? Like
No, something from Cleveland. Like, oh, here's a dildo from the fucking Christmas Story house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Tony, welcome home. I bought you.
It's a major award.
It's exactly. It says Fragile. Exactly. And I was like, yeah. What the fuck? What an idiot. Who does that?
George, nobody. What the fuck?
And he was like, oh, you know what else would be hilarious is if you got them something Irish. And I'm like what? Like a shamrock keychain or like he was like, well, what if you made, he's like, you love to cook, what if you made them like Irish soda bread? And I was like, wow, you're fucking hilarious, George. They went out there and had traditional Irish shit. They're gonna come home and I'm like, here's some shitty Cleveland, I don't bake Irish soda bread.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, again, when I came back from Asia, if I was like, hey everybody, I'm home, and they're like, wow, I made you General Tso's chicken. And I'd be like,
do you get it?
For? Yeah, exactly.
Do you get it? Because you're in Ireland?
Get it? Because you were there, and then it's hilarious because now I made you a shitty Americanized... Fuck you, George. Anyway, you're a piece of shit. But he's a loyal listener, so we appreciate you.
Thank you, George.
But still, stupid.
I don't know you, but you sound wonderful.
Yeah, you're not gonna get
and
introduced.
high.
Yeah, he's not.
You sound
not.
high,
He's
George.
not, dude. He's like 53. He's got 3 kids.
And he's not high.
No, he's
Oh.
just fucking dumb.
Oh, okay.
No, but I mean, I still love you, George.
All
we
right.
used to be desk mates, which was great. We used to have cubicles next to each other, and it was the best thing ever. I remember when I got assigned to a cubicle, my my boss was like, "Oh, and you're gonna be sitting here," and she walked me over to my cubicle when I was in office, and she was like, "You're gonna be sitting," and she went, "Oh shit," and I went, "What?" And she goes, "You're right next to George." And I was like, "Is that a problem?" And she's like, "Not for you." She was like, "You two are going to be best friends."
Yeah,
in
you guys are going to be
no
just
fucking time. But this is going to be really horrible for me and for your new boss. And I was like, "Great." And we became best work friends after that. So
Well, that's amazing. And how long ago was that?
6 years ago. Cheers, George.
That's sweet.
Yeah, we were only in office for 7.5 months together, but man, did we have a good
The
time.
best friends forever.
Yeah, we're the 2 best friends
That
that
anyone's
anyone's
can
ever
have.
had. Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
So
Well,
cheers, George.
cheers to George. Thanks for listening, bud. I don't
Yeah.
know you. You sound high, but
Yep.
I love that. That sounds hilarious.
And one more
Thanks for
cheers
listening.
to Dara, James,
Jamie.
Jamie,
Yep. Dara, Jamie, and Louie.
and Louie,
The best
the
looking.
good-looking one.
Yeah.
The best Irish.
The best Irish.
What a good-looking Irish boy.
Salud. Or Salante.
Slanche. There
Cheers.
she goes. Yeah,
How we doing on time?
we are about there.
For real?
Yeah, this is, we are about an hour 2. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
So, I mean, so there's time for a game or no?
If you got one, we can knock out in 10 minutes. We could probably skip a game this week.
Yeah, let's skip a game this week.
Yeah.
I think
mean, listen, here's the thing. So, our podcast, Pizza Bagels, we love playing out and having this go out to everybody. We love people who listen. It's not always going to be a laugh riot, but we appreciate people listening and getting into our lives.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's always fun for us every week. We hope it's fun for you every week.
absolutely.
Hopefully,
And I was so bummed while you were gone.
I know.
I'm
it
so
was
glad you're back.
sad to be away.
Yeah, listen, vicariously, I love that you went to Ireland. I love you did that. I love you had a great time. I'm super excited to hear more in detail about it, but it's great to talk about this stuff, and I can't wait to take that trip. And, at some point, you and I are going to take a trip somewhere.
Sounds good.
It's not going to be Japan, because we'll have to take our ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll figure out
But
somewhere.
we can also do fucking, I don't know. Who knows?
We'll go to
Anywhere.
like Paraguay, and then we'll be like, "What a bunch of Paraguays!" like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
and that'll be a hilarious
Because
episode.
they're very immature.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. If there was a place called like Farahomo, we would go there. But we'll take
Yeah.
Paraguay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll take that one instead.
Done.
Okay, so I guess if that's time, right?
It is time.
Okay,
I can't
well-
fucking believe it. So
Yeah.
fast.
Listen, thank you everybody that is has been continuously listening.
Loyal
New
listeners.
listeners.
New listeners.
Love to have you.
Yep.
And we've been seeing you out there in all the different states and Cali and Virginia and Kentucky
And
and
countries.
yeah, and
continents.
yeah,
We're
we're
in fucking
now in Australia, Germany. We got some Ireland boys.
I handed out a bunch of stickers to the Frankster in Chicago, so thank you, Frankster, for handing those out. Mm-hmm. We're gonna be we're prestige worldwide, baby.
Prestige
I
worldwide.
love it. I love it.
All right. Well, I guess if that's it,
Let's go.
we're just gonna have to
Oh,
just.
man. I love the song. I hate that this episode's over, but
Time goes by too fast.
you know what? We're recording. It's Thursday today.
Yep.
20 something or other.
21st.
20. Holy fuck, the 21st.
Yeah.
21st. So we'll record again probably on Monday.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, Couple days.
Yeah, I was
away.
just getting over a cold. So
Yeah.
if you hear any like awful,
nasally.
yeah, or I had some coughs
It's
that were
finally
going on
not
in the show.
It's finally not the bagel that's being nasally.
Yeah. So
Look at the schnoz on the pizza.
yeah.
But yeah.
Big old Dago nose.
Fucking
So
A.
sorry if any of those like coughs kind of caught the mic, but I did my best to get out of that.
But also, shout
over
out
cold.
to, again, to our loyal listeners. I love it. Yeah, and
We love you all.
Love you all. Billy,
New and old.
settle the fuck down. We'll talk about your episode soon.
Yes.
All right, let's play out, baby.
All right. Bye, guys.
Cheerios. Sláinte.